Today we're learning about the Canon XA10, which is our first classroom video camera. The Canon XA10 is a camera that you will be using out in the field on a regular basis. So when we get the camera, it's a regular standard small size camera. And what we're going to do with this is, the camera has a handle where you guys could slide your hand under. I'm lefty, the camera's made for righties, okay? So the camera goes under here, and you would open this little screen so you could have an image. The little screen is called the preview screen. So the preview screen does what? It allows me to preview anything I'm about to record. So the preview screen, write this down, is going to allow me to preview what I'm going to be recording. The first step I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the power on. So on the Canon XA10, there's only one power button. The power button is located approximately right where my finger is. When I turn the power button on, you will hear a little noise of the camera turning on, and a green light will turn on. Just situate it right here. This camera, as well as any other camera that's portable right now, I have a battery. The battery goes in here, okay, which is right here. It's a little small battery. I can take it out. This is the size of the battery. The battery, always got to make sure it's in. These cameras will always hold the battery because you recharge them. If the battery is not situated in the camera, how else would the battery charge? Easy. Through a direct current in port, which is right here in the back of the camera. If you look, there's a little piece that lifts up, which is right here. So next to the battery is where you would connect the charger. You would connect the charger and it runs to the electric. The only way that would die is if the electric went out, okay? If we go film a soccer game, if we go film a board meeting, I recommend bringing a charger. If you're out doing a video in the field, you need to charge your camera ahead of time. So I would turn the camera on, make sure my battery's in. Turn the camera on. So I told you already, you could slide your hand in the side here, and you could you would hold the camera from here. Now, since this camera is set up for my hand to be in here, the recording device button would most likely and the easiest be right where my thumb is. So when I'm recording my thumb, there's a little red button which is right here. This red button allows me to record. When I go to record, if you look on the screen, what color does the light turn? It's red, correct? See the little red light flashing? When I click it again, it pauses. You could see in the front of the camera a red light turns on, right? Everyone sees that? Everyone sees the red light? That's how you know it's recording, which is right here. In the front of the camera, there's a red light. And that's how you know it's recording. When I push stop, it goes off. Before we do any type of recording with this camera, I'm going to give you a massively important portion of filming. If you look right here on the camera, you have something called interior and exterior. It says INT, EXT. INT, EXT. See it right here? This is the most important aspect of your filming. What does the INT stand for? The INT stands for internal microphone. What is an internal microphone? Easy. It's built in the camera, so it records through these little holes right here. It's an internal microphone, which is right next to the lens cap, okay? That will record if we're filming a concert. If we're filming a concert and we're just using the camera to record, we have to make sure it's on internal mic. When would the external mic become of use? Nicosia, when did you use external mic? Just a party. So if I stand up and I'm holding a microphone and I'm going to record it and hand it off to somebody else, it must be put on external mic. Does everyone understand that? So that's the first thing you want to check on the camera, that it's on internal mic or external mic. So external mic, if I have a handheld mic attached to the camera, then I would use external mic. If I'm filming like a concert or where I'm doing a board meeting, I would use the internal microphone. Everyone understand that? Now, as we look at the screen, as we, on the camera, there's two. So if I zoom in or zoom out, it's called a wide shot, tight shot, okay? If I do a wide shot, if I do a tight shot, Angela's going to demonstrate what a tight shot looks like on Mr. Sheridan. So you would zoom in. The two locations, zooming in, and then we would have a wide shot when she would zoom out. Well, when you do this, this camera has two spots. So you could zoom in, zoom out, so you have tight shot, wide shot on the top of the camera, which is right here on the top, or more realistically, where my finger is, which is right here. If you look at the camera and you watch me zoom out, zoom in, okay, you would move this button, okay, and you would see the camera moving. So I could zoom out or zoom in on the camera. My record button is this red button where my thumb is. This is made with this handle so you're able to do everything from here. I could also use my handle. A good thing about using the handle is I could do a low angle shot. So a lot of times you would see a low angle shot, I would hold the camera down as if I was filming a softball or baseball team group in a huddle. And I could do a nice low angle shot and walk. Or if I take the camera and just pan slowly across here. Everyone understand that? Well, if I'm using the handle, what do I have to do? Well, there's a record button here. So on this camera, there's two record buttons. Two zoom in and out buttons. Record, one of them is right here on the top. Another one is right here on the side. Wide shot, tight shot, one on the top, and then one right here. If we're looking at this, what is this called again? The preview screen. So, if I'm looking at my camera angle and shot on the preview screen, what would I like to do to adjust a blurry camera shot? Well, on the side of the camera right here, behind the lens, okay, right here, is where my adjust it, where I could adjust the focus. What's the focus used for? This is how I would focus a better camera shot, or if it's blurry on your screen, you would adjust the focus. What do most cameras have nowadays? An autofocus. It's built into the camera. But we need to know where that is. What is this called? This plastic piece around the camera. Right here. What's it protecting? So this is a lens cover, okay? The lens cover stops what? What do you think this stops from happening? It protects the lens. The lens is located in here, okay? The lens is located in there behind the glass. So when you see at a baseball game a ball cracks that, it's not cracking the lens. There's a protective cover over the lens. Inside of there is where the lens is. So this is like a lens, this is called a lens cover. This helps keep out light too. It filters out light, right? A lens sucks in the light in order to produce the image. Does everyone understand that? This, if I took this camera and I aimed it directly at the sun and filmed you guys in front of the sun, what would happen? Would you guys be able to see what's on the other end of the camera? No. Okay? On top of here, there's a little black piece that snaps in over this. What is this called? There's a little black piece. It snaps in and completely covers this. Lens cap. What's the purpose of that? You would cover it with the lens cap to protect the lens. Does everyone understand that? All right? Now, these cameras have all internal memory. The internal memory configures at 18 hours. It holds approximately 18 hours of footage. You do not need an SD card, but if we were going to film more, we can insert an SD card. In here, the two SD cards go in, but we don't need to use those. So if you look, ours are completely empty, so we always leave this closed. So the memory is built into the camera. If we look right here, so now we go out and we film our event. I filmed already, press record, I filmed. What can we do? We could go back and check our footage to make sure it's there. Right here on the camera it says display, D-I-S-P. there's a display button with like a little playback button. All right? Right here we push it, and if we look at our screen, you could see my footage that I filmed earlier. If you look here, it's all the footage I filmed earlier. I could click on this footage and then see what color does the light turn. So this is all the footage that I previously recorded. I don't recommend doing this, okay? Why? Because if you made a mistake, you would just start over and refilm it, all right? So during the editing process, you could, if I started doing an interview and I didn't like what I said, I could stop, continue where I left off, just like Mr. Rhodes did yesterday during his presentation. Now, in order to go back to my camera mode, so I have camera mode and playback mode, okay? In order to record and film, what mode do I have to be in? Camera mode. When I'm recording, it's got to be in camera mode. If I'm in playback mode, what am I doing? I'll be playing back my video of which I filmed already, okay? At nighttime, if we filmed our music video or any other video, right here on the camera, there's a button that says infrared, right here. If I switch the camera to infrared, it looks like the camera goes black and white. So I go from color to infrared. This allows me to film at nighttime, and it would film pretty much as if you had a light on the camera. Does everyone understand that? When you look at this screen, on my screen here, you could see a little battery that's in the right-hand side of my screen. That tells me how much time is left on my camera. It says 85 minutes. That's an approximation. Don't guarantee that. Underneath it, it says 18 hours and 35 minutes. That's how much time I have, storage that I have in here. Does everyone understand that? On top of here is where I would connect my microphone. Microphone I could put in here, or I would attach my light. I have portable lights in the back, and you would put the light on here, so if you're filming at night, it brightens up the picture. This is pretty much it for this camera. I will go into detail tomorrow on how to now take the video from the camera and put it into the editing software. Couple more things that I want to go over. So that is it for this specific XA10. We're going to make believe in this next demonstration that when we're filming in a studio, you have a big studio camera. Some of the bigger studio cameras are so long that you can't reach where the camera is. Now, we're going to look at the camera. What is this camera set up on? When we go in the field, the camera sits on something in order to have a steady camera shot. If I'm going to film an event that's going to take 3 hours, 4 hours, it's not realistic to hold the camera for 4 hours. You're not He-Man, and your biceps would be very sore. So what would you bring with you? I would bring something called a tripod. This is a tripod, a three-legged, 1, 2, 3. 3 legs, and that supports the camera to hold for a steady camera shot. Okay? Our studio cameras sit on something with wheels on the bottom. Down on the bottom here with the wheels, it's called a dolly. What does that allow me to do? It allows me to move my camera on a steady camera shot wherever I want. It's on wheels. Okay, so I could say dolly right. I move the camera to the right. Dolly left. When I do this, if I tell you kids when you're recording to tilt down, tilt up. Tilt down, and so tilt means to go up and down. Pan left, pan right means what? Huh? Goes right, pan left. So I would say pan right, pan left. Tilt down, tilt up. Does everyone understand that? Now, on a big studio camera, so the camera operator would always keep their headset on. As a camera operator, the director and floor director tell the camera operator, adjust your camera shot. Technical director may tell you to adjust your camera shot. When they're talking to you, you want to not talk back. Reason being is if you're talking back and you're filming, the viewer is going to hear me as the camera person talking in the set. Not good. So you always want to put your headset on, and the director will get into telling you what to do. On studio cameras like this, we're lucky. We're able to reach our cameras right here. When you use a big camera, a long HD camera, there is no way possible, unless I was go-go gadget and my arm extended, for me to reach the zoom and the focus. Like I said, most of these new cameras have autofocus. But what do they have now? Well, our new studio cameras have a little toggle switch right here. What is this toggle switch allowing me to do? I could zoom in and zoom out from this toggle switch. I could also adjust the focus. I could adjust the focus. Again, or I could push the A for what? Autofocus. Does anyone have any questions? One more brief topic. If on the studio cameras all have a teleprompter attached to the front of their screens, the base is a computer, which is cloning whatever is on our Apple over there. All this is a mirror. The mirror reflects off of the screen, and that's how you produce your image of your wording and font that's going across the screen. Behind this mirror is your actual camera lens. That's what's recording you. So the camera lens is just looking through the mirror. Okay, so it's like a window. Every camera has it. One main topic that you need to remember is that we cannot record with these studio cameras. We do not push record on the camera. If I pushed record on this camera and we did a morning show and camera 2 and camera 1 operator pushed their record, how many different sets of film would we have? 3. We record through our back room. Our back room is recorded through something called an AJA. It goes through the switcher, through the cables, into the wall, and into the switcher. I then can record it from the back. So we do not have to press the record button on any of these cameras when we're recording out here, because it all gets recorded in the back. The color cables. This is a protector for the cables. Okay, within here is the cables. It's carrying what? Audio, okay, and video through the cables. We use wireless, okay, but you still need a hard connection if we wanted to film and record through the cameras. Last topic, when I was telling you guys about the battery, so since there's no battery in the cameras down the studio, okay? These are all hardwired right into a battery charger, okay? Remember I told you there's a battery charger here that goes into the electric outlet? So the electric cable comes through here, the video cable and the audio all comes through here. Here's the actual full battery, the charger, and it runs into the electric on the base. So these cameras do not have a battery in them. And that is it for the Canon XA10.